Welcome to Fallout 76, this is Jim. In this video we're going to take a look at completing daily challenges for today, Thursday, July 31st, 2025. As you can see, we are here in Helvetia, which is the home of Fasnacht Day. Now we have 2 weeks of Fasnacht Day. Of course, it started this past Tuesday. It's going to run right up to August the 12th, 2025. Alright, so our daily challenges should be coming in here very shortly. And look at that, double score weekend, baby. Oh yeah, I love double score weekend. Awesome. So we do have this one here, complete the event Fasnacht Day. Of course, Fasnacht Day is here in Helvetia every hour on top of the hour, which is pretty awesome. And because it is double score weekend, now is the time to use score booster drinks. Let's go ahead and do this. So a score booster drink would give us an extra 25% for 24 hours on top of what we have already. Let's go ahead and do that. So if you ever use a score booster drink, as you can see there, just went up to 50%. If you ever use a score booster drink, you don't see your score increasing. There's nothing wrong with your game. All you do is you back out. Then you go back into it again, and then you'll see it pop up just like that. And the same thing would have happened to the weeklies. Now, you will come across some very old information from like 4 or 5 years ago, where people were saying, make sure you save your double score weekends, you save your weekly challenges for that time. But the weekly challenges are not affected by double score weekends, okay? Only your dailies are. So you can do your weekly challenges at any time. But I'm just letting you know that you will come across some old information, and that's no longer valid. All right. Pretty awesome. Let's find our Protectron marchers here. Wow, it's a little shifty there, wasn't it? Now, again, there are about 7 Protectrons in general, and it's going to be different on every server. And there's a couple people that have their camps in around here, and looks like this one here is going to be pretty glitchy. I've been trying to mention that as much as I can, even this past February when we had Fasnacht Day, is just make sure you don't place your camps near the area, because it makes the area very, very glitchy, and it makes the robots glitchy as well, to a point that you might even fail the event. Alright, so I always recommend to people, don't put your camps too close to Helvetia when this goes on. Alright, so only 3 of 5. Okay, someone activated that one there. Let's look for some eggs here. Looks like there's a honeybeast down there. And here's some eggs right here. I can see someone kind of going around and activating all the Protectrons, so that's awesome. Good for them that they're doing that. Some people don't realize that they have to do that. There's a honeybeast right outside the door there. So we should have enough of these eggs. Just put them right in the old pot there. There we go, 20 for 20 done. Let's lock and load here for... Alright, somebody could have taken care of them already. Good stuff. So only 4 or 5, so there's one more marcher. And I think it's this guy way up here. Nope, somebody already got him. Alright, let's go inside here. Decorations, nope. Let's try the butcher here. I don't think anyone's been inside here yet. Nope, not here. So let's try the candle maker. Right up here. Alright, so someone hasn't activated him yet, so we'll activate him. Of course, we get honey from the honey house, unless you... Or, sorry, beeswax. Unless you have beeswax on you already. So again, let's go to the honey house here. There'll be all kinds of beeswax. This person here, Lost Cat, he knows what's going on, or that person knows what's going on. And again, just walk up, he just takes the beeswax. Just like that. Right between him and myself, we should have enough. We only need 10. That person's beelining it to the honey house there. Looks like. He might have enough. Oh, he had enough. Good job. Nice job. Awesome. So you can see these robots, they come here to this start of the parade. They take their little helmets off here and they put their own little mask on, which is pretty cool to watch, actually. Look at that guy there. Over 3,000 level. Wow. Holy mackerel. That's pretty cool watching that happen. That's a nice power armor skin there. Make sure we're recording. Fine, ever since I'm using this face cam, I'm always kind of looking back to make sure we're recording for some reason. I don't know why, but...
Swapping exterior casing to festive man.
Alright, yeah. Huh! Hype is life, baby. Let's take a look at these other challenges here real quick. So collecting wood, you can do that definitely around here. Cripple enemy limbs, that's going to be a good one. We can do that one here as well. So an enemy basically is every enemy here on the map, even the passive old Brahmin down through Flatwoods will count, alright? You just kind of shoot at them, right? We'll be crippling their limbs, so you might see me complete that one. And a good possibility to be a cryptid at the end of the event. So again, a couple of these daily challenges we can incorporate into this Fasnacht day here. But we'll still kind of go through each one separately, just in case everyone doesn't have a chance to do Fasnacht day. You know what to do and where to go. Here's his known streaker here, just like Gunther down in Nuka World on tour. Sure, we're locked and loaded here, buds. Oh, I can't believe how high of a level that person is. Here's another streaker up here. Alright, this will be the first wave of rad toads. Again, as you can see there, cripple an enemy, how it's popping up. So you see how this is working, but we'll still kind of go through it. But essentially you can see what I'm doing here. Did he move on yet? No, he didn't. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Alright, I think he's good to go now. I just kind of slightly hear him there. Let's pick some junk up here. There we go. Not a whole lot of people here. I'm surprised. Surprised by that. Yeah, I love Fasnacht Day. Just so much fun. Until it gets glitchy, then it's not fun. And you wasted like 7 minutes. Now the second wave coming up will be Super Mutants and Mutant Hounds. I don't know what this person's firing at. Alright, let's get up on our little ledge here. I'd like to kind of perch myself here. Oh, that's too much, Jim. Oh. Someone's just whipping around fragrant or nuka grenades here. Holy mackerel. Can't even see. Okay, let's go over here. Whoa. If the jetpack doesn't work, sometimes it works too well. Nothing in the middle. Oh, we got someone? There we go. Shoot that guy in the face. Fire damage. Nice. As I walk with these guys. I'm doing some shake and rattle and rolling there. I suppose you guys can't see in there because I'm in the way. Now. Can't really haul out this backpack I have very often, that skin. Thought, you know what, it's crazy old-fashioned that week, so why not? Corn the cob head. Oh, that guy die? What did he die from? That's weird. Alright, so again, this is where the boss will be. Legendary, usually behind that tree. Sometimes he's over there. Sometimes on the other side of that shed. And down there on the other side of the meat shop. So 4 possible locations for the legendary boss. Now back in the day, it only spawned up here. That's why everyone comes up here. But just to give you a heads up, if you don't see one around here, we see some canines, so we don't see him here. So he's probably down here somewheres. Right here, there's right there, see? And he's a legendary. Alright, he's dead, boys. Kill a cryptid 1 for 1. So I did get a couple of shots off on him, so he will count as a cryptid. As I mentioned, a lot of these daily challenges and events like this, you can definitely do quite a few of them at the same time, right? Which really saves you time at the end of the day, because an event like this will take you about maybe 5-7 minutes. Alright, don't forget to come up here. We got twinsies over here. Twinsies! And hopefully we get a glowing mask. Come on, baby, come on. Big money, come on. Come on, big money. Alright, there we go. Complete the event. Fasnacht day 1 for 1 done. Just like that. Pretty awesome. And a lot of people like to kind of come here and put their stuff in this donation box or basket, as you can see. But you have to be really quick. But I don't know anyone who would put something very interesting in there or not. Fasnacht Demon Mask. Yeah, I believe I have that one already. I'll take a look at it a little bit later, but I believe I have that one already. Alright, good stuff. He's embedded into the concrete there. Or the asphalt, I should say. Yes, sir. Alright, let's take a look at these challenges here. So as you saw, we get some done. We got one close to being done, so there's not a whole lot we have to stay on this particular server for. So let's go ahead. We're going to switch servers to our own private one where it can be a little bit easier to find the things that we're looking for. Yeah. See you there in the top right up to August the 12th, 2025. So hopefully everyone is able to get their hands on a nice glowing mask. I think I only have one glowing mask. I think it was that Abe mask I got this past February. Like it went right up to the very last day, if you guys can remember. And it wasn't until the day after I decided to show it off, because of all the glowing masks I wanted, that was really the one that I wanted. Was the Abe one. But I think that's the only glowing mask I have. It's totally crazy. And I do these events and like there's people... It seems like everyone has a glowing mask but me. Yeah. I don't know, man. Alright. Let's take a look here, Jim. Alright. So let's take a look at this one here while we had it done already. Kill a Cryptid 1. So when I think of cryptids, I think of grafted monsters, snallygasters, wendigos. But like I mentioned, at the end of Fasnacht Day, I'm fairly certain the boss of that is usually a cryptid. So we can have a behemoth. I don't know if behemoths are cryptids or not. Maybe not, but a behemoth does pop up once in a while. There'll be like that... Blue Devil that showed up, the Oluwai, the giant turtle will show up once in a while. So just to give you an idea that that's a good way of doing it. So let's take a look at some great spots for some cryptids like grafted monsters. Right here at Hemlock Holes just to the south. There'll be one kind of patrol in that area, and there'll be like a downed vertibot down there, and sometimes there'll be 2 snallygasters there as well. That's a pretty good spot. If you spawn in Grafton Day, the event, just by fast travel to this area, again, another good source of a Grafton monster. Right down here at the Charleston train yard, just north, there'll be like that little dumping ground that's there. There'll be a Grafton monster there. In between the Charleston Capitol building, the level 50 DMV building, and Somerville's Dam, there'll be like a little black river. And if you don't see him out, just go down to the Black River. He'll kind of ooze himself out of that Black River. That's pretty sharp to watch. And these guys here are on a 30-minute cooldown on the same server. So, again, there should be a Grafton monster there for everyone. Of course, right up here in the White Spring area, I believe it's the... Just try to think. I believe it's between the north entrance and the White Spring Golf Club. There'll be like a little gazebo area, and there's usually a Grafton monster wandering in around that area. He kind of blends in with everything. You just kind of keep an eye on him. Snallygaster, so 2 of them here in Charleston. So one right at the bridge, and one a little bit further down towards the Charleston Capitol building, the low-level section. Second here. Right over here at the Toxic Theories Meet and Go, there'll be 3, I call them the triplets, 3 snallygasters there. Flooded train yard, at least 6 snallygasters down here. Only a 50% chance to find 4 of them up here, kitty quarter cabins. Of course, the other 50% chance, will be rat scorpions, but again, it's not 100% location, but you know, we have had fairly good luck there at times. In terms of Wendigos, right down here in Lewisburg, 25% chance here in Horwright Air Purifier Site 3, 25% chance here at 3 Ponds. There's usually one down here in the Dark Hollow Manor, usually on the west side in one of those deep ravines, but I find there's also a couple of Lost, and sometimes the Lost will kill that Wendigo that's down there. Right up here at Haven Church. And of course the Wendigo Cave, again, it's a little bit higher level area, but you can try that out if you so wish. So again, all kinds of great options there for you guys. Let's go to one location. I'll pop in here in the Charleston train yard. That's a pretty good picture there. Alright, so you can go through there if you so wish. There's usually a couple liberators around, or you just kind of walk around. Right down here, and again, this little dumping ground is where the Grafton monster will be. Right there. And I usually recommend the old blowholes. Is he still alive? I was going to say, wait a minute, what's going on? Alright, so there's a Grafton monster there. So again, we already did it there, but I still want to kind of bring you to at least one location and give you a couple of other locations there as well. Alright. And as you saw, we completed another one as we kind of were going along during the Fasnacht Day event and killing this Grafton monster down here. Cripple Enemy Limb 6. So as I mentioned, when it talks about enemies, it's talking about everything is on the table. Humans, robots, cryptids like this one here, scorched, ghouls, everything is on the table. Even the simple old Brahmin down through Flatwood, just kind of shoot at them, just cripple their limbs and just kind of do it that way. Now this one here is kind of open-ended. It's very, very easy to do. As I mentioned, you just kind of shoot at them. You don't have to use VATS if you don't want to. But if you do use VATS, there is a perk card that will help you out. It's under perception. It's called Concentrated Fire. It allows you to move your VATS from head, torso, arms, and legs. Now, of course, this has been changed. So if your perception is 5 or higher, this card pretty much becomes obsolete. But if your perception is lower than 5, you'll definitely need it in order to switch your VATS around to do the crippling. Now, for a daily challenge like this, very easy to do, but for weekly challenges where we have to cripple like 18 to 30, doing VATS with this perk card, or if you have a perception of 5 or higher, will definitely help you out, because if you have the right weapon, you can pull off maybe 2 to 3 cripples per enemy, and you can get it done a lot quicker. Now, in terms of crippling, I find most ballistic weapons, bow and arrow with a crossbow, plasma caster, plasma rifle, even the drill with a tanky build or power armor build, shotgun with the enforcer perk card under agility. But as you guys know, you guys just see me do these daily, weekly challenges every day. Not all weapons are created equal when you're trying to cripple. All right, so FYI there. Let's see what's next here, Gem. Collect wood 5. All right, so again, many great spots we can collect wood in around the wasteland. Anywhere in the forest area is a pretty good spot, especially in between the Wayward and Flatwoods area, like right along this stream on this side, both sides of the stream, and making your way up here to Vault 76. Again, great spot for down trees. Now, being the forest area, it can be a little bit difficult to spot out the down trees, especially in the dark. Some people like to talk about the Toxic Valley because the down trees is not as forestry up here, I guess, and a lot of down trees up here as well. Now down in Helvetia, right where we were at for Fasnacht Day, we have the yellow house right on the corner of the main road. There's a nice stockpile of wood back there actually, and it being part of the forest area. Again, all kinds of down trees just within this little area. Now, one of the best spots for wood is right here in Prickett's Fort. Again, nice little neutral area for everyone. And there's so much wood up there. Like even if you're looking to kind of build a camp or modify a camp, everyone's going to need wood. Lots of wood up here. Now there is a perk card that will definitely help you out when you're collecting wood. It'll be down here under luck. Per card is called Woodchucker. So collect twice as much when harvesting wood. So when you're harvesting wood, 2, 4, 6, 8, or 10, and with this per card equipped, you'll get double those results. It doesn't really help you with the daily, weekly challenges because as you harvest, let's say 2, 4, 6, 8, or 10, you only get credit for 1 for the daily challenge. But if you're looking to kind of build a camp or modify a camp and you're collecting wood, definitely recommend this bad boy here. All right, good stuff. So we have quite a few down trees here, right where we are at. So let's go ahead here. That's all you really got to do. And as you can see, the scraps that are being added, like 2 and 6, for example, but we're only getting credit for 1. All right, so just in case if someone's new to the game, they don't realize that that's what's going on. All right, there we go. Like wood 5 for 5 done, just like that. And of course, you could have done that during Fasnacht Day as well. So that's another one you could have done up here during Fasnacht Day in Helvetia. All right, let's see what is next here. Let's just pop back to our camp here, which is fairly close to where we are, actually. Let's pop into our camp. There we go. Camp's just over here, Jim. You being followed? Sometimes there's a bunch of ghouls around here. All right. There's a little pup there. Crafter scrap armor 5. All right, so again, different ways we can get armor here in the game. Again, it's not talking about power armor, it's just talking about regular armor, okay? Because we do have its own daily, weekly challenge where we have to craft or scrap power armor. This one here is just talking about armor itself. Now, we can find armor just kind of laying around. We can find armor from killing enemies. I find enemies like the Grafton Monster, like the Blue Devil down at the that we had today for Fasnacht Day, will usually have a piece of armor on them. Right? And sometimes even the Grafton Monster will have 2 pieces of armor on. Really depends on the server and all that jazz. But again, a lot of the stuff has been significantly been reduced. So if you're a returning player, you haven't played for quite some time, that's something that you may notice. But for this one here, I usually recommend to craft some armor and then scrap it, just to get it done nice and quick. So if we go to a armor workbench here, if we go craft, And the armor I'm thinking about is light armor, and it's this leather pieces. So these leather pieces, they can be crafted right at level 1. You learn these extremely early on in game, and as you can see, the requirements are easily available down through flatwoods and around the forest area, so everyone should be able to do this. So let's craft a couple of these level 1 left arms here. Just like that. Then we will back out. We'll scrap these leather duffed arms that we just crafted here. There we go, crafter scrap, armor, done, just like that. Pretty awesome. And that's the way I usually recommend just a daily, weekly challenge. Again, if you have a little bit more time or you just want to play the game and have some fun, again, you can just kind of go out, do things the old-fashioned way. Definitely nothing wrong with that. I know there's people that like to do it the quick way. There's people that like to do things the old-fashioned way. Nice little combination of people. Let's see what's next. Alright, scrap trying to produce oil 5. So oil is a junk item, which we can use the bulk and scrap method at any Tinker's Workbench in the game. Let's go to Tinker's Workbench here. We're going to go craft. Go to bulk. We'll go down here to the O section. So to bulk 1 oil, all you need is 2 plastic and 10 waste oil from your stash or scrap box. You go ahead and you craft your 1 bulk oil, then you scrap is hands down the fastest, quickest, easiest way to complete this daily challenge. It's more so for the folks that are kind of short on time, or for people like to get things done quick and easy. It's the bulk and scrap method is definitely where it's at for most junk items here in the game. Now, if you will take a look at the channel, I do have a lot of older videos. I would say at least 5 or 6 are in a little playlist. Scrap junk to produce oil, and that is before we learn the bulk and scrap method. But I bring you to a lot of locations and around the map. We're looking for fuel canisters, fuel tanks, and you scrap them, and basically they'll give you oil, all right? And we can take a look at a couple of those here. We do have this particular camp resource here. It's called the Nodding Donkey. It does pop up quite frequently, actually, in the atomic shop. As you can see, I'll passively collect nuclear waste and waste oil while I play the game. Nice little camp resource to have. Again, oil very easily available. But again, a nice little camp resource we have available to us there. Alright, so take a look at a couple locations for fuel tanks and gas canisters. Right up here, WV Lumber & Co. Right here, the Blue Ridge Bunkhouse. I believe there's some in around Sudler's Ridge as well. Right over here actually is a really good spot. Probably one of the best spots, ArtisticallyArranged Meet and Go. Soap is another great way to get oil as well. When you scrap soap, I'll give you oil, and I do have a separate video on locations for soap I made maybe a couple months ago. It is all timestamped, but we have Skeleton in a bathtub directly south of the New River Gorge Bridge East. We have the spa down at the White Spring Mall. We can use the north entrance. Right up here, Darling Sister's Lab. There is maybe a few gas canisters up there, as well as a little wheelbarrow full of 7 soap here in this area there. As well as ghouls. Ghouls are a good source of soap. There'll be some soap and ghouls around the Eastern Regional Penitentiary. Even down here, I find it's pretty decent. Fort Defiance as well for ghouls and soap, amongst other things. So all kinds of great options there. Even if you come down here, Mount Blair Train Yard, whether you spawn in BattleBot or not, if you go on top of that little bunker, there's usually probably about, I think, 3 or 4 gas canisters up there. It's a pretty good spot there. The spot we're going to go here today is the Silva Homestead, so let's pop in here. And we're going to head right up to that red barn. Run right up this hill here. Alright, so we have these fuel tanks here. If we take a look at them under item and then stats, you can see there are 2 oil and 3 steel each. Alright, what else do we have here? Gem. A fuel tank here, Perk. Good stuff. What else we got? I think we got some stuff upstairs here. I think the aluminum canister gives us oil as well. Yep, 1 oil in the aluminum canister. We have an industrial canister, 2 oil and 2 aluminum. We have this blowtorch. You see the blowtorch gives us 3 oil in that little bad boy and some steel. We have another chlorine bag up here. Never realized that. And for the most part, I think that's pretty much it. What's this here? Bag of cement. All right, let's head back to our camp, and we will scrap this up here. We can scrap this at any workbench at all, another player's camp, train stations, down at the mall, what have you. There's a workbench nearby and a garage. All right, let's scrap this up here. As you can see, item stats are right in the middle. There you go, scrap trying to produce oil, done just like that. Again, bunch of quicker ways, the bulk and scrap method. Yeah, that camp resource, the old nodding donkey. Good stuff. I think if one more left here. Consume any chems too. Alright, so don't get this confused with collect chems. We actually have to consume them, alright? But we can collect them in various different ways. Most human enemies will have stim packs on them. I'm not saying every human enemy will, but most of them will. So we're talking about cultists, blood eagles, and even communists. And even in around those areas where you find those enemies, there'll be other chems there as well. Probably one of the best spots for chems I find myself is right here at Point Pleasant, between the 20 cultists that are there, and all the chems are just kind of laying around like in the basement of the museum. And in around the church, lots and lots of chems. I think the most chems we ever found there at one time was 30 on one server. It was pretty awesome. It was a pretty good time. I find even over here at the Morgantown Airport on the outside, like along the runway and out front in front of the arrivals area, lots of chems in and around there as well. And surprisingly enough, for being a small area, this Gilman Lumber Mill, again, another great spot for some chems there as well. Ghouls are a good source of Radaway and Radax, so the upper lower parking lot just west of Vault 76, Eastern Regional Penitentiary, lower section of Clarksburg, wandering the streets of Morgantown and the monorail system. We come across patches of 4 to 6 ghouls every block and a half or two. Level 50 DMV building, Charleston Capitol building, down here in Lewisburg, White Spring Golf Club in the greens, lots of ghouls and chems and around there. Now we can buy chems from train stations, most fast travel areas in the form of medical dispensers, as long as you have the caps. I find nowadays even many players' vendors will sell chems for the ghouls, okay, such as myself. So that's another thing you can try there as well. You can also craft your own chems if you so wish, but you will need a chemistry station. If you don't have a chemistry station, you actually get one very early on in game. When you leave Vault 76, most people come down here to Flatwoods. There's 2 kiosks down there in the tavern. It'll be the very first 2 quests you do to become a responder. You stay right down here in Flatwoods. They're very easy to do. I have those videos here on the channel. And you'll learn, or you'll get the plan for the chemistry workbench. Also, chemistry workbench right here in Morgantown Station. I would say 8 times out of 10, the plan will be right on the floor next to it. All right, pretty good time. And of course, you know, places like White Spring Mall, etc. So you can craft your chems, and if we take a look at that real quick here, all you do is go down here to healing, and I would suggest you craft these diluted versions of Stimpack, Radaway, or Radax, and most of us will carry some sort of quantity on us. You just craft these diluted versions. If you use the Chemist perk card under Intelligence and Super Duper, you know, you'll at least double your results with the Chemist perk card, and may get 2 extra ones if Super Duper kicks in. Oh, Camp Pet Treasure. Interesting. It's funny how that popped up like that. What do you got for me, bud? This guy a little... Yep, that's it. Alright, little buddy. Let's go ahead. We're going to take our chems here. Again, any chem will do. Now, if you're trying to take a stim pack in your full health, it's not going to work. So let's try to take a stim pack here just so I can show you. That's food and drink, Jim. And you guys probably knew that. Try to take a stim pack. You can see there. you're already full health. Or I guess you can't see because I'm in the way. But it came up, you're already full health. But if you're new to the game, that's something you might not notice, but it'll pop up in the top left-hand corner of the screen. So you're saying, oh, I should take any chem. I should be able to take a stim pack. But if you're already full health, it's not going to work. All right. So let's take a couple rad axes here. Of course, I'm a ghoul, so I have all kinds of chems on me. All right, there we go. And I think that's it. Let's take a look here. We are done. Double score weekend. So we'll have double score weekend all through the weekend, right through to even Monday. So that's pretty awesome. Now's a good time to gain some good traction on the old scoreboard, or season pass, I should say. Weapon workbench. Let's go ahead and check out weapon of the day here. Not that. 2-shot Pyro Crusader pistol, +1 projectiles, +75% damage. Projectiles explode for +20% weapon damage, +50% reload speed. 2-shot explosive swift. Pyro receiver, standard long barrel, large magazine, short scope suppressor, default appearance. 57 times 2 damage, 38 times 2 fire damage, 126 fire damage for 3 seconds, 10mm ammo, single fire, but shoots very fast. Reloads very fast, even without the swift. Reloads really quick. Of course, it is a gunslinger build, so if you take a look at the perk cards here, that'll be under agility for now anyway. Master Gunslinger, Gunslinger, Expert Gunslinger. Of course, the Expert and the Master used to be 3 stars, but they're only 1 star now. The other good one for pistols is Crack Shot under Perception. Okay. Legendary perk cards. I've had these for quite some time. I'm very happy with them, and as you can see, they're all maxed out. All right, good stuff. Yeah, so there you guys go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and share when you have the chance. It really helps me out. I'd like to thank my channel members, Artistically Arranged, Michael Edwards, Nigel Wiffen, Heather, Whitetribe, Major Shelton, Drake Stamps, NotMeButMeYesMeThatsMe, Drew Andrew, Confoundedbridge, Waywarner, John DJ59, Picquerist, Gwen Trutnau, Tony Watson, FelixTheKat, Dan Ferreira, Benny Bunny. Thank you all so very much, and I hope you all have a nice day.